Are you tired of overdue tasks? I'm going to help you fix them, and we're not going to stop there. So join me. When we talk about tasks, I know a lot of you are using them very robustly, and that's awesome. It can really be a great feature to help you make sure you're not losing track of things. But with more tasks comes a great responsibility, right? When we're looking at our tasks, we want to make sure that your screen doesn't turn into this overdue task after overdue task. And sometimes it's inevitable, it happens. We need to figure out a way to stop this from happening and stop you from having to move those tasks every day so that they're not overdue or lose track of them when they become overdue. So here's how we're going to fix it once and for all. When you come over to your task list, I want you to take a look at your tasks and find the ones, we all know they're there. Find the ones that you can't actually do yet. You're waiting for something. You're waiting for someone else to do something. You're waiting for something else to happen. And so I want you to find those tasks. For example, here I've got a letter that I need to send to the client. I can't actually send the letter yet. It's not time yet. I need to send the letter about the deposition process, but we haven't even scheduled the deposition yet. So I'm going to wait till we schedule the deposition. Then I'm going to prepare that letter and send it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this matter, and I have my task right here, letter to client. I'm going to open that task, and you'll see, before I even open it, actually, you'll see that I do have a task to schedule the deposition, right? But this task to send the letter is not, it's overdue. It was supposed to be back in December. I can't do it yet. I can keep pushing it forward, right, to another day. I can pick another day on the calendar, just a random day, and keep pushing it forward. But then I have to keep doing that and keep doing that. And that becomes very tiresome, especially if I've got more than 10 of those that I'm keeping track of. So stop doing that. Instead, I want you to click on relative due date, right? I want you to click on that and figure out what you're going to attach it to. In this case, I want to send this letter out, prepare it and send it out 1 business day after the schedule the deposition. Okay, this other task here. So 1 business day after schedule the deposition, now this task is going to appear and the due date will be adjusted so that I do it the day after. So I'm going to go ahead and save that task. Don't forget, by the way, that you can adjust this. It could be 10 business days after. It could be 10 business days before. It could be calendar days. You can adjust this to make it more appropriate for the workflow that you want. But the key here is make it a relative due date based on something else. So as that task moves or gets pushed out or stays up to date, then it'll trigger this task, right? So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, don't forget that in order for this to work, we have to use our best practices when it comes to task lists, and we have to go ahead and make sure that we're always pushing our tasks forward. Now, of course, when we make them relative, then of course we'll have less tasks to push forward, which is great. That's the whole goal here. But again, make sure we're using best practices throughout the firm to make sure to push our tasks forward so that we don't have overdue tasks. Because remember, that relative due date is going to trigger based on the prior task's due date, not based on when it gets checked off. So again, if your teammates also have overdue tasks, that's not going to help us. We need to push our tasks out to dates that we can actually get them done, or make them dependent on other tasks relative to other tasks, as I've just shown you. So if you want to solve this problem and so much more with your workflows and your task lists, join us at our next task list workshop. Our next task list workshop is taking place at the end of January 2025. So check it out. There's details in the description of this video, and you can see other task list workshops coming up as well. So join us and have a great evening.